Hey y'all. Hello. Some stuff. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Let me tag some folks. Good evening. Let me tag some folks. Hey Rashida girl. Hey Rashida girl. Tag some people if you can. Hope everybody is doing okay tonight. We're gonna get some people time in. Move that down so the banner's not in my face. All right. I hope everybody is good. I'm good. I am. Hold on. I'm good. I'm good. I am grateful for everything that is happening, doors that are opening, what God is doing. So, how are you? How is everything going? Because you're doing some good things too, ma'am. If you are on, say hello. Hey, Marada. Who else is on with us? Hope y'all are doing good. Hope y'all are doing good. What are y'all doing this Friday evening? I have to keep reminding myself of what day it is. Hey Joellis. Hello. I have to remind myself what day it is. Um, Things like that, because gotta keep up, especially because next weekend is, oh Lord, Rashida, you and your 5 jobs. You and your 5 jobs. Next weekend is a pageant. I am taking. Let me put my cash app down there. I'm taking all donations. I got a few more things I have to get together. So I'm taking all donations. Let me put my cash app in case anybody want to bless me. Let me pin it. If anybody would like to bless my cash app, because the pageant is fastly approaching. Okay, just gonna put it out there. Just gonna put it out there. But yeah, I wanted to jump on. I have been working on my costume for the pageant and getting things in order with my business, making sure, you know, um, I have everything I need, getting my book anthology things together. I am looking for more authors to be a part. So if you know anybody interested, please send them my way. And then just getting everything set because you know just got to get things moving. Showing up. Making sure I'm consistent. Sometimes we can let the world get in the way of things that we're supposed to be doing. And so I want to make sure that I don't get in the way. And then I was going through my pictures on my other phone, and Rashida, I don't remember. Like, try to help me. I remember when we did your show when I hosted, and let me show y'all this picture I took. One of the pictures I took. But y'all, this is like one of my favorite pictures. Rashida, do you remember this picture? One of my favorites. And hey, Kia, I cannot remember what year, but I was going through and I remembered that impromptu shoot outside. That's another one of my favorites. Like, these pictures will go down in history. Yeah, so I was looking at those and I was just going through and I was really sitting there and I was like, man, like I have really did a lot. And that's what prompted me to post to do the post today. I said I'm kind of a big deal, and one thing that this pageant has taught me is that it is okay to toot your own horn. It is okay to brag a little bit on the accomplishments that you have done. It is okay to talk about yourself, not to the point where it's obnoxious and you just think you're better than everybody else. But I can honestly say that that is an area that I have struggled in because my prayer has always been, God, don't ever let me become too full of myself that I forget where my talents and my gifts come from. I don't ever want to be that person. I don't ever want it to be where somebody meets me and they're like, Jolie, she's so full of herself. Now they may say that, but that's just their own insecurities. Because I think with the people that are on here and people that have known me, I've never been that one. Oh, thank you, Kia. And it's funny because now when I meet people, and for instance, I had went to this business meeting last night, and I'm in a room with some amazing women. I'm talking about some amazing women. They do, and that's the thing. People don't take the time to get to know that, and so they miss out on something amazing. So it's all good. But I met this lady, and she was like, "So what do you do?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm an author, motivational speaker." And I started going down the list, and I was like, I just do a few things. And she looked at me. She was like, "Girl, a few." She was like, "Girl, like you are." Like you're amazing. And so I try to when people start pointing out what I do and, oh my God, you do this, and oh my God, that's so awesome. I try to turn that focus around on something else because I'm not gonna lie, transparent moment, it makes me feel uncomfortable when people, I'm not gonna say praise me, but when people let me know that I'm doing a great job, it makes me so uncomfortable. I don't know why. I guess it's just because I don't ever want to be like I'll tell people, I'll give somebody a compliment and they'll be like, friend of mine last night gave her a compliment. She was like, "Well, girl, I'm trying and I didn't always do this." And I said, I just say thank you. Just say thank you. I have to take my own advice and just say thank you. Girl, you are the bomb. Thank you, darling. Thank you so much. And own it and accept it because it does feel good. But I was looking through my phone and I was looking at like my model journey. And then I was looking at um, when I got into my speaking and I did a little bit of acting and my books. I made sure because I bought some book stands for my table when I go out. Y'all see my crown up there because I'm competing. Like I said, next weekend, so I have my crown and stuff so I don't lose it. But I have my books, and this is not even all of them. And then there's other books that are in the process of getting done. And like, how many people can really say that they've written books, or they've been a part of book projects, things like that. So I said I'm going to start putting things up to remind myself how big of a deal I am. And it's okay to be a big deal. It's okay to celebrate me. It's okay for me to know, or I have talks with myself, and I'm like, Jolie, like you're too hard on yourself. Like right now, I'm so hard on myself because I feel like I'm not doing enough. I'm not showing up enough. Sometimes I feel like I should be further along in my business. Like, if you just buckle down and do the things you need to do. And when there's areas that I'm not strong in, yeah, I can be transparent with y'all, right? I could be, I could be real with y'all, right? Um, in areas that I'm not strong, like I talk about having a team, I would love, 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 love for somebody to be like, hey, Jolie, I see the things that you're doing, and I want to bless you with a business, with a branding photo shoot. I would love that. I would love for somebody to say, hey, Jolie, you know what? I see what you're doing. Do you need somebody to follow you around and capture all of your moments? I used to say, because I know it's going to happen, because usually when I have ideas or I have things, God will give it to me well before it starts happening. So I know it's going to happen. I said I want to do a whole life, that uh, like a day in the life of Jolie. Have somebody, follow me around all day from the time I get up, and I'm decent. I get up, what I'm doing when I get dressed, the kids sleeping, I gotta take the kids to work, or whatever. But just follow me around in my day, and just like let people know like what it is that I do, like what goes into Jolie's day, how Jolie functions. Hey, Melvin, those are things that I want. I want people to be able to be like, hey, you know what? I got, you got your media team where you need us, what we need to do when I go show up. I don't, all I want to do, y'all, I promise, is wake up, open my laptop, coach the clients that are for me. I want to be able to show up and speak. I want to be able to walk down and have my personal phone that I'm texting or whatever, and then I have my assistant that says, "Hey Jolie, you just booked another, gig, blah blah blah. And, hey Jolie, don't forget after this, you got your call doing this, and I have my coffee in hand because I gotta have my coffee, and that's what I want. I want those things. I don't want to." I don't want to do nothing else but get up and pour into people, because I appreciate that. That's what I love to do. That's my heartstring. I just want to pour back into people. I want people to experience somebody really pouring into them, but then also knowing that the person that's pouring into them like truly believes in what it is that they're telling. You got some people, oh y'all, I almost set this stuff on fire. You have some people that will you got some people that will tell you what they think you want to hear, or what they know you want to hear, and don't believe in none of it. Will try to sell you a dream, will make you think one thing about yourself to get a sale. Listen, I'm one of those people where, um, I'm not gonna say it's not about the money, but it's not about the money. The money is gonna come. I'm more focused on being real and making sure that how I show up today is how I show up tomorrow, and how I show up the next day. I look at things like last year, me being on the billboard with my tour. Man, when I tell you, that was such an amazing feeling. That was so amazing. And that was just a glimpse of me being on billboards in different places, different states, because I know it's coming. Um, I'm still looking for sponsors, people who want to partner where I promote their business, and they partner up with me. They see, hey Shantae, they see the work that I'm doing, they see the vision, and don't mind sowing into the vision. They don't mind sowing into Jolie, because guess what? It's just me. You know, everything that God has given me is just me. So I know He's going to bring about the clients. I know He's going to bring about um, everything that, every idea. You guys, I talked about it before. I'm going to have my own wine. I know this because He already gave it to me. He showed me. I have the blueprint of how it's going to flow, how it's going to work, what it's going to taste like, what it's going to look like, what the bottle going to look like, the design. Like, I have it all put together. I want to have my own perfume and cologne, his and hers. I know these things are going to come to pass because He's already shown me. He's already given it to me. It's funny because when I get dressed in the morning and I have my sprays, I have my perfume, I have all of those things, and I mix and match different scents, and I do it so when I go out and I encounter people and they say, "Wow, what is that you have on?" Well, I don't know, because it's a mixture. So I like mixing my own things. That's why I want my own wine. I'm not a hard drinker. So for me, you know, I don't see anything wrong with having a glass of wine. So why not invest in something that I love? I love wine. I do. I don't have to drink wine every day, but I love it. And there are other people, other moms, other business owners who need that wind down time. There are other people who just want to socially have a great time without being so heavily intoxicated. So those are things that I look at. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where my mind goes. Listen, I'm not a heavy drinker, but I like to have a good time. I like to socialize. I love to cook. For those that didn't know, I love to cook. I said I want to start my own cooking channel, and it's not about creating any type of dishes. It's just about cooking what I love my way, what I'm putting in it, talking to the people, showing them my presentation of the, like everything. I'm like, oh God, I want to be able to get these type of presentation dishes. I want to be able to get this type of thing. And oh, I want to be able to cook in this type of kitchen and do all these things. Like, these are things that I love to do. And I don't know if people, people they don't take the time to get to know me. Some people know me, but when and I think that's what's so funny when I tell my kids and they talk about friends. I say, you use that word so loosely, because if somebody is your friend gonna know some things about you that other people don't know. So when people say, "Oh, I know Jolie," do you really know Jolie, or do you know of Jolie? Because people have to know my passion. Like Kia said, me and Kia been knowing each other. I don't even know how long. If she's still on here, Kia, I have no idea how long we've been knowing each other, but it's been well over 10 years. I'm assuming. I think so. But Kia knows a lot about me because we've spent so much time together. We've seen I've seen her son grow up. You know, I seen Kia when she was single, and now I see Kia when she married. I see all these things. I seen Kia when she was modeling full time, and I see Kia now that she a teacher. I see Kia on her workout journey. Like, I can say Kia is a friend because we've gotten to know each other on a more personal level at some point in our years. Rashida can say that she's my friend. Rashida know I'll pull up on her in a minute. Don't play with me. I'll pull up on you. So these people know things about me. Me and Rashida have had talks about things that I want to do, and goals, and how, I'm excited about for these things to happen. Melvin, if he's still on, Melvin has known me for years. Melvin was like my first real boss and taught me, the ins and out of being an entrepreneur, whether he knows it or not. He planted the entrepreneur seed in my life over 15 years ago. So people that know me can say, man, like, you've grown up, but you've been the same. Like, your core, your foundation doesn't change. And I think that's where people misconstrue. People expect you not to grow. People expect you to stay the same way, and you can't stay the same. You can't say that I'm growing, but I've never changed. I've improved. My foundation is still the same, but I'm still Sorry, hold on. Gus, what are you in there doing? What are you doing? I don't know what you're doing. You sit right here, I can see you. Got a little dog, so I'd be watching him. People can. I've grown. I've matured, but my core is still the same. I'm still the same person. Hey, Janana, I'm still the same person. You know what I'm saying? So I try to show them, like, I don't have to change my foundation in order to grow and be a better me. I'm always striving to be a better me. I'm always looking to improve me. If anybody knew me when I first started modeling, I can say, I was at a low place when I started. I had no self-esteem. As crazy as some people say that sounds, I had no self-esteem. I didn't love myself. There are a lot of things because I had been through so much. So modeling helped me to find me again. It helped me to love me again. It helped me to really look at who I was, look at my body, look at what I had to offer. I was showing it to everybody. Jesus Christ, he's great because he's a changer. Ooh, he changed your life. But I was doing all of these things and thinking that modeling was it. And all God did was open the door for modeling to get that to build me back up, to see me for me. And I was traveling the world. I was in Vegas. I was in Florida. Man, I was everywhere. I'm everywhere. I'm still everywhere. But when I decided to change, my foundation didn't change because I was still Jolie. But what version of Jolie was I? Back then I was Jolie the Vixen. You couldn't tell me nothing. You still can't halfway tell me nothing. But thank you, honey. And I truly believe that. But now I'm Jolie the author. Jolie, don't get me wrong. I'm Jolie the model. I'm not Jolie the vixen. I'm Jolie the model. I'm Jolie the motivational speaker. I'm Jolie the life coach. I'm Jolie the mentor. I'm Jolie the motivator. I'm Jolie the uplifter. I'm Jolie the truth expert. I'm Jolie whatever God says Jolie needs to be. That's what I am. And thank you, love. Thank you so much. And I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, I just like I know it's my season, and I know the devil is fighting me hard. Oh, he's fighting me hard because when I tell you, sometimes it seems like as soon as I look like I'm coming out, like the storm cloud comes again. And I'm like, dang, I was almost there. And I'm still almost there. This is still my season. But I'm just like, I just want to be at a place where I'm like, I got it all together. I got my team together. And I'm gonna tell you, for me, I'm not financially, I'm not where I want to be. I ask y'all, can I be real? Because I'm always gonna be real. Um, I think that's why a lot of times people fall down that ladder they're climbing is because they try to put on this facade, they try to put on this camouflage, they try to make themselves look like something that they're not. And let me tell you something, my financial situation is definitely not where I want it to be at all. So when I talk to God, I talk to God from a place of being realistic. God, I don't have the funds to pay for a team. I don't have that. I don't have the funds to do all of these things that you're having me to do. Sorry, y'all, something got in my eye. I don't have the funds to do all these things that you're telling me to do. However, you did bless me with being able to speak. You did bless me with not being afraid to talk to people. You did bless me with being able to think, you know, think about the things that I want, think about the things that I'm wanting to achieve. And so he knows that the team that he sends me, they're going to have to be willing to give me some grace until things start picking up. And that's the one thing I think sometimes people forget. Hey, Wolf. Hey, hey. I think people forget that at some point in their life, somebody had to give them grace. I think people forget that it was some point in their life where they were just starting out. They were just at the bottom. You work for, listen, I'm going to hold you to it. Um, People forget that they had to start at the bottom at one point. People forget that somebody had to help them at one point. People forget that they had to have somebody that said, hey, don't worry about it right now. I got you. And I think that for every no you get, if somebody tells me no, if somebody says, hey, Jolie, I want to work, I've heard people tell me, that they want to partner, they want to work with me, they want to do these things. And then when I start telling the things that I want, that ain't the case no more, or things like that. And it's almost like, God, I want you to show people my heart. I want you to show people that I'm not here to get over on them. I want you to show people that I'm genuine about what I say. But I will tell you the one thing I know, and I'm not saying this in a boastful way. Y'all hear me clearly when I say this. The people that are attached to me, when the blessings hit me, they hitting them too. When God bless me, I'm not just praying for my blessings. I'm praying for the overflow of blessings. So that way I'm not only blessed, but people that stood in the gap to say, Jolie, I got you, get blessed. And that other people that come in contact with me get blessed. And that everybody at the table, we listen to people talk about, oh, I want a seat at the table. I want a seat at the table. I'm building my own table. I'm building my own table because I know how many seats I want at my table. I know how I want my table to be built. I know the preparation that goes into the table. I know the journey. Here's the thing. Right now, I tell anybody I'm in the trenches. I am. I'm in the trenches because I'm searching. I'm searching for the things that I need. I'm searching for the things that I need. And I want the people that's going to be in the trenches with me, that's going to take the black paint and they're going to put it on their eyes, and we're going to put the camouflage stuff on, and we're going to crawl on our bellies, and we're going to get in the trenches and make things happen. And guess what? Sometimes, not everything works out. Hey, not everything works out how we want it to work out, and that's fine. And it's not failing. You fail when you stop trying. You fail when you give up. You fail when you throw in the towel. You fail when you say, I'm tired. That's it. I don't want to do this no more. It's too much for me. I can't see myself walking away from what I'm doing. I can see myself adding to things to make my business better. But I don't see myself walking away and saying, nah, Jolie, you're not gonna be a speaker no more. I don't want to be an author no more. I don't want to go around and speak to people no more. I don't want to go and do this no more. I don't see that for myself. That's my plan A. And guess what? Sometimes I hear people talk about business. I hear people talk about sorry, y'all. I'm trying to see what I hear people talk about business. I hear people talk about, oh, you gotta why this is not happening. You don't want it bad enough. You this. But guess what? When those people started, they didn't start off at the top. They had to start at the bottom too. And I'm drinking juice, by the way. That's all it is. They had to start off at the bottom. Gus, get your little butt in here. I don't know what you're doing, but get in here. Mm-hmm. They had to start at the bottom. They didn't. They had to figure it out. They had to do what was best for them. They had to do their path. So, with anything, you have to start at the bottom, and you have to be. I'm gonna tell you what I realized. If somebody and this is just me. I can only speak for me. If somebody gives me a car, hey Jolie, think you're doing great. Want to bless you with a car. I'm gonna be so grateful. Oh my God, I got a car. It's great. It's great, right? But if I work hard and I go purchase the car that I've worked hard for, the appreciation and the excitement hits different. Because I've worked for it, because my hands are hurting from all the work that I put in, because I saved up, because I saw what I wanted and I went ahead and I worked for it and I worked for it and I sacrificed and I didn't go do these things, or I had to work overtime and I had to do this and I had to have sleepless nights and I had to have early mornings and I had to cry and I had to put my blood, sweat, and tears into it and I had to do all of these things. But when I got to what it was that I invested my all into, it hits differently. Usually, if somebody gives you something, they give you the gift from them, what they think you would like, and what they. If somebody got me a car, they're not going to give me my dream car. They're going to give me what they can afford, and I better appreciate it, or they're going to give it to somebody else, right? But when you have your business and you working for it, you treat it differently. You take care of it. You make sure you don't abuse it. You make sure everything is going right. You make sure all of these different things. So when you start accomplishing the things that you want, you like, man, I did that. I did that. I sacrificed and I did that, man. And you be proud too. Look, not saying you're not proud because people give you things. But when you work for it, it feels different. Oh, it feels different. So when I look at my business and I look at all the things, and I look at all the things that I want to do, I say, man, when I get to that point, it's gonna hit different. Oh, it's gonna hit different. Because I worked for it, because I had to endure all of the no's. I had to endure all of the people walking away. I had to endure people telling me I'm not gonna do it. I'm not, girl, you ain't gonna achieve that. Girl, that's out of your league. People gonna tell you, people will discourage you, especially we don't even understand. People see where you're going before you see where you're going. So people will discourage you. Okay, love. People will discourage you, hey Catherine, to make you get off course. They will discourage you to get you off track, to become that distraction, that deadly distraction, to get you off track, because they see, dang, if Jolie just keep pushing, if Jolie just keep going, if she just keep showing up, if she just keep doing what she doing, she gonna break some bread. Man, she finna. If Jolie just keep, oh my God, y'all, we gotta stop her. I remember when I would go back home to Florida, there was one of my old neighbors. Every time he would see me, he would say, "Man, somebody gonna stop you." And I said, "What does that mean?" And he was like, "You know what it means. Somebody gonna stop you." And I laugh because when I look at it from a business perspective, people trying to stop me. People trying to stop you. The question is, are you gonna give them the power to? Can't nobody stop me. If you ain't God, can't no man stop me. Can't no man pump my brakes. None. I'm the only person that can pump my own brakes. And I'm all gas right now. I'm all gas. I look at everything that's going on right now. I look at the books that I'm a part of. All right, darling. Hey, Miss Angela. I look at all the books that I'm a part of. I look at all of the platforms that I've spoken on. I look at all the states that I've been to, that I've made appearances. I did my second book signing in Vegas. I didn't know anybody in Vegas. I'll take that back. I knew one person in Vegas at the time, and the person that I did the book signing with, I didn't know her. I had just met her. So I did my second book signing in Vegas, and it was amazing. I've done multiple tours where I'm just traveling. I'm trusting God. God, when I get here, allow me to speak and allow people's lives to be changed. Allow me to sell my books, and people's lives are changed through what I have to say, through my journey, through the things you've taken me on. It's crazy when I was talking to a lady at the business meeting, and I was telling her, I was like, I'm at a point where I'm like, people don't understand. I know what it feels like to be homeless with your kids. I know what it feels like not to be able to feed them. I know what it feels like for them to eat and you not knowing when the next time you gonna eat. I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like not to have any transportation. I know what it feels like to walk in 100-degree heat pregnant with a baby in a stroller. I know what those things feel like. I know what it feels like to have your femininity taken from you. And then you have to learn how to be feminine all over again. Cause trust me, I was real rough around the edges. And I'm still a little rough, but I know how to tap into my feminine side. I know and I love how it feels when I can be a lady, when I can actually just not do anything, when I can just walk in who I am, and I don't have to be masculine all the time, and I don't have to talk with force, and I could just talk. It's funny that sometimes we feel like society will make us feel like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not talking down on anybody when I say this, but society will make you think that if you are a speaker and you are not yelling and and all that extra, that you're not effective. Baby, that just took every bit of energy out of me just doing that, just to demonstrate. I had to find out that, Jolie, that's not you. Jolie, you soft and country, and you a low key comedian, and you allow people to see the humor in the things that they've been through. You allow people to see that it's okay to laugh after the trauma. It's okay to embrace the trauma and say, you know what? God, you funny, because I don't know how I was coming out of that. It wasn't funny back then. Trust me, it wasn't funny. But it's funny now. When I look back and I look at the lies that I had to tell my kids in order for us to get through, I look back at the games I used to make up on the bus when we would ride and ride and ride. I look at the stories I would have to tell my kids when we would have to sleep in the park. I look at the lies I would have to tell my grandmother because I didn't want her to know that I didn't have nowhere to go. I remember talking to my grandmother on the phone and trying to hide the fact that something was wrong. And my grandma would tell me, baby, I can tell when you're not smiling through the phone. And I'm like, what is she talking about? Like, how can you see that I'm not smiling through the phone? But as I got older, I realized your happiness exudes through everything. It exudes through the camera, through the phone. And my grandma could hear in my soul when I was good, and she could hear when I was bad. And so now, fast forward, I'm doing all these great things. I'm getting ready to compete in my first pageant, National All World Beauties 2023 at the end of June next week. And y'all don't know how many times I wanted to call my grandmother and say, Grandma, guess what I did? Sorry, y'all. I don't know why that just made me emotional. You know, I think with every accomplishment, because my grandmother saw everything that I'm doing. My grandmother spoke. She spoke so much into my life and over my life that I didn't even think I was capable of. And I remember the first time that when I was modeling, my photographer at the time, he yes indeed. Um he had we did a sample Jolie magazine, and we went to San Antonio, I think San Antonio or Houston or one of them, and we went to this place. I don't even know what the place. It wasn't a park. It was like a some type of place you can walk through the paths, and we just took pictures all day. We drove hours to just go and do a photo shoot. And when we came back, he took all the pictures and he put them in a magazine. I got the magazine in there, and it was Jolie Rashawn magazine. And I remember taking it to my grandma, and I was like, "Grandma, look." I was like, "Grandma, I'm in the whole magazine." You know, my first time in the, I think first time in the magazine, my grandma was like, "Girl, let me see." And my grandma looked through the magazine, and she said, "Baby, this is so beautiful." And my grandma put the magazine on her little table, and I said, "Is that your copy?" She said, "Yes, it is." And I said, "Yes, ma'am." And so everybody that came through the door, it didn't matter what they was coming for. They could be it didn't matter. Workers, like, hey, come here. Let me show you my grandbaby. Let me show you. She's in a whole magazine. Let me show you. And my grandma showed everybody me in the magazine. And my grandma would say stuff like, "Baby, that's only the beginning. This is nothing. This is just the start." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do some more volumes with different pictures." And I'm thinking we just gonna keep doing this thing, this one thing, this same thing, and it be different. And my grandma was like, "No, no, you'll see." And now I can look back and say I've been in over, I think over 12 magazines. And I didn't really, I'm not gonna say understand the importance, but I did not, like, I find myself now saying, "Dang, I need to go find these magazines. I need to remember all of the magazines I was in so I can get those copies and have them for my records, of things that I've done." And I couldn't call her and say, "Grandma, oh my God, remember when you said that I was going to be in these other magazines? Like, it's happening." Like, I can't do that now. So I talked to her, but it's different when you just want to pick up the phone and call. So I'm looking at my life. I'm looking at billboards. I'm looking at TV. I'm looking at, all these things. I don't know what's coming with TV, but I remember my grandma flipping channels. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My grandma, I remember us flipping channels, watching Westerns, Gunsmoke, and Bonanza, and all of that. And my grandma saying, "Baby, we're going to be flipping this channel. We're going to see you on TV." And I was like, "Okay, grandma." Like, what I was gonna say? "No, we're not." Nah, okay, grandma. If you said it, I just knew my grandma was gonna outlive everybody. My grandma was gonna be 1,000 years old in my head. So I was like, my grandma must know something I don't know right now. So you right, grandma. I'm gonna be on TV, and I believe that now. I believe. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing, but I believe it now. Oh, of course. Listen, when I tell you, it's so funny that you say about that. So I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna say this tidbit. When I know for a fact that my storm is what helps other people. My transparency of things I've been through is what helps other people, whether they're older, whether they're younger, whether they're my age. It doesn't matter. And I love to share my story because it shows my strength. It shows that it doesn't matter what you go through. It don't matter what it looked like. Listen, sleeping in them churches every night, not knowing, you know, Sometimes you think that church is a safe place, and let me finish before anybody think that I'm bashing the church, because I'm not. When it comes to the shelter part of churches, they can only protect you so much. They can protect you during the daytime because you're there, but at night, churches are open to people that need it. So I can remember sometimes I look at my kids. I'm getting ready to be a whole grandmother. I look at my kids and I can remember holding them close to me at night and saying, Lord, please don't let nothing happen to us while we sleep. Or me trying to stay up to make sure they sleep. And then, we would go back to my grandmother's house the next day and make it seem like, we've been, whatever the lie was, I had to cook up so she wouldn't be worried. And I just remember those things. And, even in the pageant, they tell you to know your why. And I know my why. I know my why of why I write. I know my why of why I go and speak. I know my why of why I'm competing. I know my why of why I do everything, why I chose the journey that I've chose. I know my why of why I stay on top of my kids. And even though sometimes I just want to just shake them a little bit, but I still stay on them because I don't want them to go through what I went through. Because I should not be here having this conversation with y'all right now based off of what I went through. I shouldn't. I should not be sitting here. I shouldn't be able to trust a man. I should not be able to do anything, especially when you've been violated by multiple. How do you trust after that? How do you love after that? Um, and I've been through it, and God has shown me. But God, um, um, Miss Angela, but God. And I will tell anybody, listen, I should be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs right now. I had to learn how to forgive. I had to and not forgive just for little stuff. I had to forgive the man that molested me and tell him I forgive him. You know, and the normal people be like, who does that? I'm not doing that. And that's exactly what I was like. God, no, give me another task. Give me something else to do other than that. I'm not doing that. But I did it because the forgiveness wasn't for him to say thank you. It was to release me to be able to move on. It was to make me a stronger and better person. It was for me to be able to unlock the next levels in my life because I was holding in so much hurt. I was holding in so much toughness. Y'all, when people say, "Oh, I put up my wall," baby, my wall had alligators and spikes and all kind of hooks and stuff. Like you couldn't even breathe on my wall because something else was coming down to chop you. Like nobody could get through that wall because I had gotten to a place where I was tired. I had gotten to a place where I was telling myself that I was content with being alone. I had made up in my mind relationships wasn't for me. And when I say relationships, I have made, you know, mistakes. When you're just trying to find love, you try to look for love in men and women. And again, I am not ashamed to tell my story because people, when you hear my story, you understand why I go so hard. And I still don't think it's hard enough that I'm pushing. I still don't think I'm doing enough. I still don't think I'm getting out enough. I don't think I'm moving enough. But I'm working on that. And you have to understand that when you forgive, you unlock next levels in your life. You unlock next levels of blessings. It's just like school. If you don't pass, you don't go to the next grade. You don't advance to the next level in your growth When you don't forgive, when you don't acknowledge, when you are not walking in what you're supposed to be doing, your purpose, whatever God is telling you need to do, when you refuse to do those things, you hold yourself back in that same grade, in that same level. And God can't advance you until you pass a test. And guess what? Some grades, I don't know about y'all, but kindergarten through fifth grade, to me, those were easy. Okay, a little spelling bee. Okay, a little 2 plus 2. Little minor. Math or whatever. That's what we got to pass. But then when you get to middle school, we got to middle school. Middle school started getting a little harder, and I didn't understand what was going on. I did not. I didn't sign up for the hard class. I just thought we was gonna keep going through the easy classes. But guess what? The classes got harder, and the tests got harder, and they got longer. And I think we forget that we want the fast storms. We want the storms that hit and they gone. Like today, it rained today, and just as fast as it rained, the rain was gone and it was back drenchful hot. And so it was gone quick. But then what about those times when the rain and the storm comes and it just sits over you? You can't go outside. Listen, I understand. It's been times where the storm has come and it's just sitting outside. It's just raining for days and just raining. It start off little sprinkles, then it get real heavy, then it get light again, but it's just steady raining. And the rain is still coming, and it's muggy, and it's nasty outside. And it's like, oh my God, when is the rain gonna stop? And it's not. Sometimes that's how our storms are in our life. And it don't mean you did nothing bad. I'm gonna tell you something about a storm. When a storm comes in your life, or let's talk about a natural storm. When a natural storm comes, it gets rid of, it'll expose the weak trees. And I'm sorry, y'all, my skin be drying up. It'll expose the trees that have the weak branches, because then you see the branches on the ground. It'll expose the trees that are not as sturdy, because then those are broken on the ground after the storm passes, and you'll see the debris blown everywhere. You see dirt. It's just disgusting, right? But then also, all the rain, it moves all of the dirt and the mud out the way, right? Enough rain, when if you see a hill, or if you notice everywhere that there's rain, there's always a little slope, because the rain needs to go to where the drain is. And if it's a good draining system, the rain goes down all the dirt and the debris and everything. And sometimes the drain backs up and the water is just sitting. Hey, mommy. So sometimes we're just sitting in our storm. Not that it's a bad thing, but then guess what? Guess what else happens when it's raining real bad? Everybody ain't out. Most people are inside. They don't want to come out and do nothing. Guess what? When it's storming in your life, you know the people that's for you. Cause some people that don't matter about your storm, they still gonna come and push you. Jolie, what we doing? Jolie, listen, I know. Let me be real again. Jolie, I know you ain't got no money. Jolie, I know you need help. Okay, so what can we do, Jolie? What kind of help you need? No, Jolie, don't worry about it. We're gonna get through this. Don't worry about it, Jolie. God got it. Okay, you need this. Okay, I got this. I can help you with this. He starts sending the people that got the resources for the things that you need, right? But them fake fickle people, or just the people that you have around you, when your storm gets too heavy, you don't see them no more. They gone. They taking cover. They don't want to be in the storm with you. And sometimes God leaves us in the storm for a minute, because he got to get the crowd far enough away for you to start back elevating. So that's how I look at my storms now. God, what's the lesson in the storm? They scatter like roaches. Listen, throw some water on the floor and see if the roaches gonna stay around. They gonna be gone. Turn that light on and see how fast they gone. And that's okay. I'm learning to embrace my storms. I'm learning, you know what it really is. It's like, okay, I see the storm gonna be here a while, so let me go get my rain boots. Let me get my raincoat. Let me get my umbrella. Let me get all of the things necessary for me to get through the storm. Let me make sure I got my shutters. Let me make sure I got my shovel. So if it's a lot of dirt and debris, I can kind of move everything out the way. You start preparing to be in the storm. And you don't know how long the storm is. So just prepare to be in there a while. And look at the benefits of the storm. God, what's the benefit of my storm? Guess what? Ain't nobody bugging me. Ain't nobody got their hand out. Ain't nobody doing this. Ain't nobody doing this. Evaluate your storm and how it benefits you. God, what's the lesson in the storm? What you want me to learn from the storm, God? It's something you want me to learn. So I remember as a little girl, y'all, and I'm just, we just talking, we just having conversations. I love it. I remember as a little girl, sitting at my grandma's house, it would rain. And, back then, big grandmas and sugar mamas and sweethearts and all of them, whatever the names you called your grandma, my sugar mama had the screen doors. She had a house door, but then she had the screen door that you better not keep opening and closing. You're either gonna have your butt in and out. But I remember when it would rain, I would get a chair, one of her kitchen chairs, and I would sit it in front of the door. Open the front door, I would turn all the lights off, and I would sit in front of the screen door and I would just watch the rain and listen to just the sound of it. And it would soothe me. And even now at 41, when I feel like I can't sleep, when I feel like I need something to soothe me, I go to my rain app and I put on the thunderstorms and I hear the rain and the thunderstorms. And I'm telling y'all, I think I'll be out in about 5-10 minutes after hearing it, because it does something. It's almost like it speaks to me. So in your storm, listen for what it's saying to you. Listen for what the storm is trying to teach you, because the storm is telling you something. But sometimes we're too busy complaining about how long and how rough the storm is, and how rough the winds are blowing, and oh my God, I can't do this, it's too much. You know what? Stop complaining about the storm. Just how the National Weather Center named these storms these stupid names. Child, start naming your storm. All right, this is Storm Tamika. Tamika coming to teach me X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna start journaling my storms. I'm gonna start naming them. Storm so and so. She came at a time in my life, and what I learned from Storm so and so was X, Y, and Z. And then you have your time where everything is going great. The sun is out, the wind is blowing just right. You don't have to worry about anything. But every now and again, you'll get a little storm. Start recognizing and take notice of them. Oh, I remember I went through something similar to this. Okay, what did I need to do? How did I need to really just evaluate what I was going through? So that's what I'm learning to do. I'm learning to love my storms. I'm learning to embrace them, and I'm learning to just reflect. Sometimes in your storm, just sit back and reflect. Reflect. It is okay to reflect. I do it quite often. I'm tell you something I did reflect on. I was laughing. I had seen this picture. I said, Lord, if I get back down to 180, I'm not gonna complain. I'm not. Cause when I was 180, I was complaining. And right now I would love to be 180. So I was reflecting on that earlier today too, and it was funny because I was like, we complain about a lot of things until we ain't in that space anymore. We'd be like, dang, I should have appreciated it more. But I was too busy complaining. I was too busy, looking at, I don't even know what I was looking at. I think I probably was looking at, the gym rats, and oh, if I keep doing this and I look like this, instead of just appreciating where you are and loving on you. I didn't do that. I didn't give myself that grace. And so now I'm like, if I ever get back there, oh, we gonna have some grace talking. Me. The three of us up here, we talking about grace. We gonna give each other grace. Cause we need it. We deserve it. So that's all I want. I just want to get on here and just talk. And I enjoy when I get on and talk and we can have a conversation. It's nothing like going live and having people interact with you, um, because it allows them to see who you are and all those good things. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. And I am gonna clean up and probably work on my costume, Miss Angela, baby. But I hope y'all like my costume. I hope y'all do, because I done put some work into it and I'm tired, but I'm so excited for for the costume. And afterwards, we're gonna have a conversation, because I'm gonna be like, remember that day when we had talked about X, Y, and Z? And I'm gonna be like, ta-da! So it'll make sense next weekend, but I can't make it make sense right now. But I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm not an arts and crafts person, but honey, when y'all see this costume, y'all gonna think I was an arts and crafts person. I promise you, I'm low key thinking I'm an arts and crafts person. I don't know. So, but I'm just right now. I'm just like, okay, I gotta make sure I don't mess up nothing. I gotta make sure I transport it correctly. I gotta make sure all this stuff, Lord Jesus. But I'm excited because the weekend is gonna be so great, so great. So I'm excited. So, but y'all have a great night. I love y'all. Thank y'all to everybody that got on, everybody that stayed on. Those I still see hearts and stuff going. I appreciate y'all so much for listening to me and just going back and forth with me. It means a whole lot. And this is another thing that I want to make sure I'm consistent in, is going live, getting on here and talking to the people, getting me a topic and just coming on here and talking, or just get on. It never fails. God have me go live and He give me exactly what to say, when to say it. So I'm excited. But I love y'all. I hope everybody have an amazing Friday night. If you're going out, stay safe. Going into the weekend, I'm in for the night. I'm gonna eat me some ginger snaps and drink my juice and clean up a little bit and maybe work on my project. I may just work on it tomorrow and Sunday, but I don't get to rest enough, so maybe I'll just rest tonight. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I love y'all. I hope everybody has an amazing night.